Hey, it's Vena Jones-Cox. I've been thinking over the last couple of days about a mistake that I have seen investor after investor after investor making in coming up with values for houses. So if you're a wholesaler, I am definitely talking to you because I see wholesalers do this constantly. But even if you're thinking about buying a rental property, this is gonna sort of apply to you. So let me sort of set up what the mistake is here. Let's say you have a house with an ARV, that's after repaired value, that's what it's worth fixed up, of $100,000. Now I know some of you are in markets where properties are much more expensive or much less expensive than this, but I can do the math on $100,000 in my head. So we're gonna use $100,000 as the after repaired value of the house. Now, this mostly happens in houses that could either be rented or fixed up and resold. I don't see a whole lot of people making this mistake on true retail deals, but you know those bread and butter houses that you're looking at them and you're going, well, it could be resold to a landlord wholesaler, it could be resold to a retailer wholesaler, maybe I want to hold it for rental, or maybe I want to retail it, I don't know. And so you go look at the property, you know that the value fixed up is 100, you go look at the property, and you mentally do this calculation. You say, well, I could make it rent ready. I could get somebody in there and get them paying me rent by doing paint, carpet, the furnace, roof and gutters, and some used appliances. And then it's ready for somebody to move into. And that is going to be about $10,000 worth of work. So it's $10,000 worth of work, $100,000 ARV, right? But at the same time, if I was going to fix it up and try and resell it, I can't use this kitchen that's in here. It's just, it's workable, but it's old and dated, and nobody's going to buy the property to live in without a new kitchen, and then it also needs a bath and a half completely updated, and landscaping, and it needs better appliances. Plus, it still needs the paint and carpet and roof and gutters that we talked about before. So repairs for sale ready aren't 10, they're more like $20,000, $25,000. So here's the mistake in figuring value. Especially wholesalers, talking to you wholesalers. You take the after repair value of 100, you multiply it by 0.7, that gives you 70, and then you subtract the 10 for the landlord, because it's better than subtracting the 25 that it's going to cost for the retailer. And you say, well, then my sale price is $60,000, which means I can pay $60 for the property if I'm a landlord, or if I'm a wholesaler, I can put it under contract for $52, and that's great. The buyer, in your thinking, is then going to pay $60, put 10 more in it, and be in it for 70, so he's in it for 70 cents on the dollar, right? Which is what all buyers want, is be in for 70 cents on the dollar. He's in it for 70, it's worth 100, right? That's the logical error. The problem is, by only giving him a $10,000 budget, what you've done is you have told him the fixed up value is 100, but then you haven't given him enough budget to make it worth 100. So really, what the buyer is in it for to make it worth 100 is the 60 he's paying plus the 10 to make it rent ready, but he's got another 15 to go before it's worth $100,000. Now you might be saying, well, but I'm selling to a landlord, it doesn't matter, he's not going to sell it anyway. It doesn't matter. Your math is wrong. In order for him to later finish the work and sell it for $100,000, he's got to do that other 15 in work. He cannot sell it for $100,000 having only made it rent ready. So he's not in it for 70 cents on the dollar. By the time he makes it worth $100,000, he's in it for 85, which is 85 cents on the dollar. So what you should be looking at to sell this property is 100 times 0.7 is 70 minus the full 25 in work, not minus 10 in work. I don't care that you don't think your landlord's going to do it right now. You cannot start with a value and then not give a budget to get to that value. So I see this over and over and over with wholesalers that they have this property under contract for $52,000 when in fact they should be selling it for $45,000. And they don't understand why they can't sell it, why everyone's telling them, why all these landlords are saying it needs more than $10,000 in work. The answer is you haven't given them enough budget to actually do the work to bring it up to 100. So either you don't tell them the ARV is 100, or you give them the right budget and you have this property under contract for more like $37,000, $38,000. So just something I noticed a lot of folks doing, thought you might want to understand where your math had gone wrong and why you can't wholesale those deals that seem like good deals to you. You want more information, my website's regotus.com. Leave comments below, and I'll see you next time.